Hey, what's up, guys? Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Hope everyone's doing well. It's been the craziest, I would say, last 36 hours. Getting all set up and ready for my first ever whatnot coin auction stream has been, quite. Like I had mentioned at the start of the stream, it was kind of nerve wracking. Didn't know what to expect. Here, I have coins that I had either purchased prior to my first live show or coins I took out of my personal collection to sell. And I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go, at all. You always hear the horror stories about how people, end up getting way less than what they were initially invested on their coins. All right, and that's totally not the way that you want to do this if you're going to become a seller on the platform. Now, in this video, I wanted to share my unbiased positives and a few negatives about my first experience. And I believe, this is after doing some research on YouTube, that this might be the first, I guess, review of the platform from someone selling in the coins and currency part of the website. Now, we're not going to see any screenshots or anything in here. Quite a bit of folks ended up coming into my stream last night. Apparently, it's a record for a first timer in the coins and currency section of the platform. And that was kind of awesome. I think at my highest, I was like up to 183 people, which that's pretty good because a lot of the other coin and currency sellers on the platform, the other creators, seem to average about 50. So, as a seller, it certainly helps when you have a little bit of bandwidth with an audience, and that's you guys. All of my fellow coin collectors, currency, paper money people, all you guys out there really made it happen. I want to first of all thank you for tuning in, and I think because it was you guys. It was a lot of new fresh faces on the platform. I didn't see too many other people from other um, coin sellers that were on there. And I've seen a few names that stick out because they're regulars on those specific sellers auctions. But it's you guys that really made the experience not as hectic. You guys made me feel comfortable about it. And all of those worries just kind of went away. So, I would say that and I might be an outlier, and as a matter of fact, I think I am an outlier because I leveraged my YouTube subscribers to get this thing rolling, but it was a tremendous success. I ended up selling every single one of the auction listed items. Came out to 43 individual lots. I sold every bit between last night and the prior 24 hours because I had listed a bunch of items in my Whatnot store as buy it now. So you could go in there, pick whatever you want. I think there was a lot of folks taking advantage of the $25 or 25 what is it, $15 credit when you signed up as a new user on the platform. People were taking advantage of their $15. Okay, but a part of that is they get into the negative part at the end, and trying to help out a few people with that. But we'll talk a little bit more about that here momentarily. But overall, just amazing. Sold out of the 43 individual lots, and then another 100 plus individual buy it now pieces. Things like this. The family 5-pack of 90% silver mercury dimes were a hit. These, I believe, were the first things to sell out on, what is that, an eyelash? Man, my blueprint is on all this stuff. But this was the first thing to sell out in my buy it now store, and shame on me. I didn't put nearly enough of these on there. I think I had 14 packs. You know, I guess anyone can go in there and buy multiple packs, but a lot of people were certainly taking advantage of their free $15 credit when you sign up. But I sold out of everything. Okay. And with that comes a little bit of a negative. Now, you know, it's crazy because for every positive thing, there's going to be a negative thing. But I think as long as I'm telling you, um, you guys will have a general idea of what you need to do to be successful on the platform right out of the gate. All right, because it's not all unicorns, rainbows, and shooting stars. It's not. There's a lot of pre-planning involved. There's a lot of spending your own money if you don't have inventory, and timing is of the essence. We're going to talk a little bit about the timing thing in the negative part of it. But all the things that's going to be brought up are fixable. And these are things that, because of what I went through, you guys can capitalize on what I went through. And I know a few of you are interested in selling on the platform, and I have sent the referral link to become a seller on the platform to you. All right. Some of you may know Eric. He's one of our regulars, not only on my channel but also on the live coin Q&A. All right, so we sold out of all the listings. Overall, the bidding process went smoothly. It really did. People were on there, and you know, I could set the timer at anything I wanted to. I did 30 seconds at the advice of my rep for Whatnot starting out. And I thought that that was a pretty good amount of time. However, I'll just go ahead and say the negative part for this one because it kind of plays hand in hand. There were a few website issues, slowdowns. Apparently, there was a big concert or something. Little Yachty was on performing. I don't even know who he is, but I was even pronouncing his name wrong. But my 21-year-old daughter, I took a break right in the middle, while the website was resolving itself. Ended up going out in the hallway. I'm like, do you know Little Yachty or Yachty or whatever? And she pronounced it correctly for me. So that was cool. But my rep, Michael, told me that this is not typical. The website is generally 99% stable, regardless of how many people are on there auctioning at any given time. The outlier was we had this performing artist doing a live. And he said that the last time that they encountered these slowdowns or crashes for the other folks was when Post Malone did a concert on Whatnot's platform. So, that was kind of the negative thing. But as soon as he dropped off the stream, a few minutes later, everything came up. The chat resolved itself because the chat froze and disappeared. Because I had it running on my mobile device, which is what you're watching me now, but also on my laptop as well, which is a lot quicker, compared to what other devices I've used. So, a very premium experience. What's cool is when people were bidding on the items and then things closed out and then, announced the winner, the item was paid for immediately. Okay, it hit their card. And I like that. I like knowing that happens because it allows me to focus on thinking forward about what I have to do to get ready for the next show. And I think doing it every 7 days, I'm going to be doing it every Friday. That might change. And then here's the big reason why. And it has to do with the payout schedule. If you're starting out on the program, you get paid out 3 days after the items have delivered to their buyers. And I'm like, that seems kind of long, you know. But I guess it's Whatnot's way of kind of like safeguarding against people that might scam, you know, sellers especially. But if you're going to do a rolling every 7 day auction and you're depending on the money that you make from your previous week's sale, all right, you need to time it strategically so that way you get paid. You're going to have maybe at the most 3 days tops to get ready for the next show. If and only if you don't have the inventory. Now, I've come up to that because some of the pieces I want to sell, I can't because they've been a family for years and they're like incredibly expensive. And it wouldn't be right as a new seller to throw up an item that's worth $500, $1,000, $2,000 and expect it to perform. Now, I sold every bit of the coins I had. And I was aiming kind of like at that $100 and under threshold because it would be palatable, easier, palatable, whatever that word is, for people to digest at $100 or lower. Because if I'm sitting there, I'm throwing up, oh, here's the next coin, is starting bid $250 or $1,000, that shuts out a lot of people. So while the platform is fantastic, okay, you have to consider the amount of people that are going to be on your live. And it's not going to be hundreds unless you're rolling like some serious social media skills. It's not going to be that. I'm not going to say I got lucky by having 180 people on my stream. I think with all the work I did promoting my first sale, I think it worked out really well. I wish there could have been maybe 200 to 300 people. All right, there's another coin auctioneer that has on any given time 200 to 300 every single night, but he's built up a reputation. All right, his name's Antiquity Coin, and I like him. He's cool. Sells good stuff. He sells the stuff that people want. And you're gonna see me do that. And I think I'm gonna start doing like and I'm gonna call it like theme days. So maybe next Friday when I do my next stream, it might be all Morgan dollars. The week after that, it could be type coins. Like I'll have like a large cent, a half cent, various different types of type coins in there. I actually had a few requests for like old copper, like large cents, half cents. It was kind of cool last night. But if you're going to be successful on the platform, you want to try and market yourself the best that you can before you start it. You really need to kind of like grease the skids a little bit, because the platform is still new to a lot of people. Unlike eBay or any other social media site where there's tens of thousands of people on there at any given time. Facebook Marketplace is successful because millions of people use it. But Whatnot, which was kind of spawned by the success of the sports card market, has kind of a little bit of ways to go. And I think with folks like you who are chiming in with me on the platform, that's kind of helping build the reputation. It's helping build the platform to audiences that had never known about Whatnot. So overall, really great experience, except the slowdown there in the middle, and my rep did reassure me that that's not typical. All right. Let's see what else. The dashboard and all that stuff with your seller account is great. I like how the shipping part of it works, because you could do generate batch labels for every single listing that you sell and then print them all out, which I thought was marvelous. It's easy to do too, and you could track all the shipments on there. You have an interactive message feature, so you could message buyers, they can message you, check on an order, things like that. So I thought that was pretty neat and very clean, very well organized. Yeah, it's great. And as long as you don't go too ham on like the values of your coins, you're going to be very, very pleased as a seller. So, with that being said, a few negatives to get out of the way. And again, a lot of these are more a reflection of me on this one and not really on the platform. All right. So, this is where a little bit of pre planning is going to help you guys out if you're going to become a seller. But this is kind of like my point of view. Prep work. The prep work can be long and daunting. If you have 50 items that you're going to sell, you could do one of two things. Okay, number one, you got to set up the stream. Maybe like 2-3 days in advance, maybe a week. Get people prepared for that. But most importantly, when you're doing something like this, that inventory part of it is huge. You got to make sure that you're not going to rely too heavily on trying to get paid out on your first sale, because starting out, it's going to take a while. Whatnot can offer up instant payouts, but that's only when you hit your first 1,000 transactions. So starting out, this is maybe something that maybe if you have a large enough inventory, it could buoy you a little bit through the first 30 days. And that's certainly going to help, because once you get the revolving paychecks every week, that's going to help out a lot. So one slight little negative, again, that's more on me. You got to make sure you got your inventory high and tight. I would say starting out, I would probably start out, doing one really big show like I did last night, and then kind of taper it off to a regular set schedule, something that your audience is going to be used to. Because you have to throw in a few giveaways in the mix too. That's a condition for becoming a seller on the platform, and they don't have to be extravagant. I gave away some pretty extravagant stuff last night. But you could keep it like under $20, somewhere around there for each of the giveaway items. But the giveaway items, what I like about the giveaway items is you can only enter the giveaway and put your entry in if you're a follower. Now, from the audience or the buyer's perspective, I think you could only do it on the mobile, which I wish that's something that you could do on a PC version, because I had a number of people that couldn't enter the giveaway because they were on either their laptop or their PC. So maybe that might be a negative for the buyer's side. All right. And we'll probably end up doing kind of like a live stream to allow people to come in and kind of voice their, either their positives or their negatives about the stream I had, or their overall experience with the platform, because there are people that came on board to my stream last night that have used Whatnot before. Other negative thing, damn, the shipping. The shipping can kill you. I had, in total, nearly 80 packages that I need to get out, and you have 48 hours to do so. That's what they want to see, and it's rightfully kind of like true. I mean, this is where people do this as a full-time job, so it makes a lot of sense. I have, of course, as you guys know, this is my first video I did since yesterday morning. So there was a full 24-hour plus of having to forego doing content work because of the first live stream. But shipping can beat you down. I had 80 packages that I need to hand assemble, and one of the big things I highly advise anyone getting is a thermal printer to print out their labels. So that way you can just stick that puppy on that envelope or that bubble mailer and you're good to go. I don't have one of those. So I had a great big fat stack of these. I'm down to just over half. This stack was like this thick of invoices and shipping labels. And I have to manually cut each label out of the sheet of paper and affix it to my bubble mailers. I affix it on there, and then I have to tape it securely. And I come to find out that I need to apply a piece of tape over the barcode, um, because surprisingly, those things get damaged and ripped and torn to shreds through the post office, just going through the conveyors and that network. So you want to make sure you protect the whole thing. So you're putting some extra work in. With a thermal printer, you just peel and stick, and then I would probably put another piece of tape over the label just to be sure. But yeah, shipping, if you're doing it by yourself, it's a killer. So you need to pre-plan it. You need to anticipate it. And anticipating is part of how many items should I sell that's comfortable for me. Because if you don't have help and you have your regular listings, of like 50 items per show, and then you have another maybe 1 to 200 buy it now listings, oh my goodness, that could get carried away really quick. You will not have a life. After the show last night, I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and package ship a few items. I printed out all the sheets, and I couldn't do anything else. I could not. I was so tired. It was like 11 o'clock at night, just trying to get everything all squared away. I ended up doing a lot of that this morning. So out of like 60, out of the 70, almost, it was like 69. Yeah, giddy. 69 packages. I had shipped out 40 in a matter of 4 hours. All right, so that's all I was doing from about 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, 10 to 2. And I got to do the rest. And my wife said she'll help me with the rest of them. So, hooray. I got a hired hand, and she's going to get a nice, nice little incentive. Yeah, keep your minds out of the gutter. But yeah, so make sure that your shipping's high and tight. Make sure you have all the supplies, because I've had to go do Walmart runs and stuff like that just so I could get more bubble mailers. The 1,000 or so that I ordered on eBay won't get here until tomorrow. So, yeah, that's pretty nutty. So that's shipping. Another thing that was a negative was the auction integration was overall pretty smooth until it crashed out. So every time when you're starting your listing, you could just press a little button that says, go to the next listing after you had concluded one. It got to a point where around item number 15, where I lost that feature. So when you're sitting there hitting next to list the next item, there would be an error pop-up message that would come up. And then you would have to go into the store, go into auctions, go to the listing that you want to sell, and then manually do it. And that's kind of a process. Sorry, I have a thing of water right here in case I get all parched. I almost dumped it all over the place. So yeah, there was some kind of like technical quirks that happened there that slowed down the process, because ideally I wanted to get through this in like an hour and like 10 minutes. So that way I could start with the shipping process. All right. It didn't quite happen out that great. Another negative thing, don't rely on using the chat on your mobile device. If you're running your auction, you need to open up something else, whether it's an iPad, a PC, or a laptop, where you can actually read the chat, because people will tell you, oh, I bid too much, and they have questions about certain things. They ask me, are you going to have silver eagles, and all sorts of stuff. So you want to have the ability to read more of the chat. Whereas the app, if you have a lot of people, the chat just continuously moves. You're not going to have any time to read. And then you got to sit there and kind of like scroll down on this tiny little bottom left portion of the screen. So, yeah, that was my experience. And it was a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of hard work. But there are people I know that use the platform and they make a lot of money doing it. But you also need the wherewithal to treat it like a business. You need to do your QuickBooks accounting and do all that stuff. Same way with eBay, but it's going to be more important here doing it like this. um, for the mere fact that it's going to be more transactions in a shorter period of time. And if you end up, I think Antiquity Coin does a live stream every night. Now that is savage as all get out. He probably has people that help him out. But if you're going to do this on a daily basis, that all needs to be high and tight. You need to manage your costs so that way you have your write-offs in line, and then you got to figure out, okay, well, how much of this do I need to put aside to pay my estimated taxes? Because Whatnot will send you a 1099. Okay, it's not a free selling website platform, but there are a number of different write-offs that you could use along the way to minimize things, so that way you don't owe anything at the end of the year. Your giveaways is a big part of that. Shipping might be a part of that as well, depending on the item, and a few other things. So you have the cost of all of your items, your coins that you're auctioning off. So yeah, that was my own experience. Actually, starting the stream, setting up the stream was all very easy. You could even, if you don't have quite the audience that I did, what you're going to have to do, and this is probably not a bad idea, is to list your items individually on your upcoming stream. And you could add photos if you want, but putting down just lot number one may not be as sufficient as a new seller. So go and actually type out a descriptive thing for each coin or piece of currency you're selling. And if you could do photos and you have time for that, that'd be awesome. And it gives people time to prep. And that way you guys can maximize the amount of money that you get by selling those items. So that's been kind of a nutshell my personal experience with the platform. It's been 98% very positive. I had the one outlier where there was an actual famous performing artist doing his thing on there that just killed the website. But that's not typical. Everything generally works like a well-oiled machine. Stay tuned. We are going to do a live stream maybe next week for a lot of folks that have used the platform. And you guys can voice your opinion on the platform. And we're going to use that platform for you guys to, talk about what you need to talk about. Oh, another negative, people have had issues claiming that $15 credit reward for signing up under my referral link. And that's an issue that doesn't come up too much, but when it does, you just have to reach out to Whatnot customer service, and they can fix that for you right away. We had a number of people that had those issues last night checking out. They ended up reaching out to customer service, and then they got that all fixed. So aside from that, that was it. That was a lot of fun. Now I need to add more reloads to my store, which will happen tomorrow. But if you guys are interested in tuning in to my next live, it's going to be a week from tomorrow, which is, a week from tomorrow, Friday. So not this tomorrow Friday, but a week from tomorrow, I'll be on again with a little bit smaller stream. It's going to be about half of the amount of items, but we're still going to load up that store with more buy now listings. A lot of popular stuff that I put on there. I had the 5-pack of VF and Plus Buffalo Nickels that sold out immediately. I had a few repunched mint mark Lincoln cents. Let's see, the 1956 D over D, RPM number 1. That's the big FS501. Sold out of the 7 I had of those, and they went cheap. I had them at $8, and those coins sell for $15 to $20. Had RPM number 1 for the 58D, sold out of all. That was the last one to sell out because I had nearly 20 of those in my store. So, yeah, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do for reloads. I think I'm going to do more silver, focusing on dimes and quarters, because those kind of hit the sweet spot value-wise for the people that want to use the $15 credit. But I will post down below in the description box and in the comments. I'll pin it in there as well. If you guys are interested in joining the Whatnot community and you want to actually bid on a few items or buy from any one of the distinguished coin sellers, go ahead and use my link. Get yourself $15 in credit that you could use right off the rip and have fun with it. I think it's a way better experience than eBay. And people have been getting some really silly deals on coins, the same way that I bought a slabbed Mint State 62 Morgan dollar for like 35 bucks a couple weeks back, which I think was a ripping deal. The coin is worth about $65, $70, so I got it for nearly half of what the market value is for that grade. But whew, it was a lot of fun, but boys and girls, it's a lot of work. Keep that in mind. If you're going to use the platform, you could do really well. You could sell just about anything. You know, people are selling sports cards, comics, clothing. If you guys haven't checked it out, Daily Refinement, one of the YouTube channels that I follow, sells strictly clothing. And he uses that platform and has been doing really well. So a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people are buying from there because they realize, whoa, I've been getting like serious deals off of a lot of these coins. I can't do that on eBay. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you for everyone that tuned in last night. But I think that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for being loyal listeners and viewers of my work. That means I get to hang around for at least another 6 months, right? All right, you guys take care. Have a good night. And I'll see you guys on the next video. So long.